What's going on, guys, and welcome to day 4. I'm making my way to Home Depot to pick up the plywood that we'll be using to attach to the frame. And yeah, I'm just taking the transit around. It's a good test drive to get the frame checked just to make sure there's no squeaky ends on it. And I know we're probably gonna say it numerous amounts of times, but we are first-time builders, and so the immense amount of research that we did and watching YouTube tutorials on these builds, a lot of builders have been using birch plywood, so Angelique and I decided that we might as well just get the same plywood that everyone else is using. For this build specifically, I was under the impression that 3 pieces of plywood was going to be enough, and unfortunately, it was not. I did need to make another trip for the 4th piece after we did the calculations. So again, if you have the Ford Transit 148 high roof extended, you'll need 4 sections to completely cover the floor area. And I truly can't express this enough. You really are visiting Home Depot once every other day while working on a build like this. It's like I might as well just be living at Home Depot at this point.
The next step is going to be laying down all of the plywood and putting the template that we made over it to trace it and get a good fit for the floor of the van. It is hot as hell in Southern California, especially in the summer, so we are struggling, and I really got to give it to Jason because even though I know he wants to wear the long sleeves and the sweatpants just in case he gets any nicks or burns, wearing all black is pretty brutal. And as you're about to see, that 4th piece definitely came in handy. When he lays out the template, it is the perfect coverage. Now it is time to outline it, and there is going to be a little extra space just in case we need some more.
I put some weight on the template just so that way it didn't move. I really want these lines to be as precise as possible, so I'm just putting whatever pieces and miscellaneous weights I have in the garage on top of it. So this is literally the entire layout, as you can see right here. These pieces are about like 90 bucks each. So the goal, once I start doing the measurements and everything, will be to try to not honestly mess it up. I definitely want to give myself at least about 15 inches more in plywood, just so that way there's a little hangover. It will go over the initial step. And right here, you can see me measuring out the 15 inches of extension that I'm going to be doing. I just used masking tape and I got a ruler just to make sure that the line was also even with the remainder of the template. And keep in mind too, I'm just guessing 15 extra inches. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be an accurate fit.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Full transparency, this is a learning curve for us, so we're still trying to figure out a rhythm of delegating tasks and utilizing our time efficiently. We really want to stay on track to hopefully finish in about 2 months. That being said, I'm obviously pretty scarce for the first few videos of the build. While Jason took the lead on the physical labor, I was behind the scenes carrying the mental load of researching and budgeting and buying every single item we need. It literally took me full days upon days to complete the total haul. I'm also doing a majority of the video editing for YouTube, and each one takes around 4 to 6 hours minimum to finish, so yeah, it's a lot.
So right now, with the first piece in process of being cut, we're just gonna figure out and make sure that this part fits perfectly in the frame, as well as not damaging any of the interior of the van. And it actually fits pretty well. Like I was surprised. This was my first cut. I thought I was gonna need to cut a little bit more off, but we just needed to slide it a little bit closer to the wall, and so far, so good. So sometimes I start doing the work and sometimes I forget to get the camera rolling. So we got our mask on, technically working on the second board for the subfloor. I'm in the middle of the process of getting some holes cut. I'm gonna use this tool. I'm gonna use this tool with the power drill first to drill a hole in some of the areas for the jigsaw to kind of work alongside the lines a lot better, so that way I can just get the cuts straight forward. So I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about right now. And I also just wanted to mention that a lot of the equipment that we have available to us for this build was either borrowed from friends and family or previously bought for past projects we've done. So we won't be including them in our budget at the end. And as you can see here, we have the hole already in the corner of where I'm gonna be inserting the jigsaw, so that way I can get a better cut to finish the line work. And I know YouTube has a beautiful way of making it seem like these projects are very quick. However, they are not. I took my time, I made sure that the cuts were as precise as possible, and I also left a little bit of extra wood just in case. I am putting masking tape on this just because I do not want to mess up the actual plywood. This is a technique that I saw on some YouTube tutorials. This is very expensive plywood, so the last thing you want to do is have a bunch of scuffs, dings, markups. We're just going to be cutting this piece and go from there. I also wanted to share that the entire time doing this, I was completely stressed out, but my boy Jigsaw and I got this. And as you can see, the second piece fits perfectly with that extended part. So far, so good. I am going to sand the edges when I'm done to make everything smoother. The trickier bit was adjusting the measurements of the template since it's raised off the frame now and hugs certain areas of the van differently. I'm gonna be honest, it's just me guessing at this point and adding on a couple centimeters here and there, hoping it'll fit, which it did. I'm now gonna be starting the third piece. This was hands down the most challenging section to cut correctly because of the wheel wells and using the jigsaw in a circular motion, but I made it work. Keep in mind, you will be making adjustments as you go, and a lot of it is just eyeballing what looks good to you.
We are now on the final piece, yay! I need to double check the line work and make sure everything is absolutely perfect. That way, whenever we shut the back doors, it does not interfere with the floor at all.
I also wanted to share what blades that I'm using for the jigsaw. While I was at Home Depot, I picked up this Diablo set. It has multiple variations of blades for wood and metal, which are gonna come in handy when we're tackling the windows pretty soon. Prior to setting the plywood in, I'm gonna get the same adhesive I used for the frame and now use it for the foam boards so that way the foam boards can be attached to the metal of the floor. We're gonna be going with the tight foam from the same brand that we use for the adhesive on the frame and the foam boards. Pretty much this is gonna seal up all the cracks that are left, that way we have a 100% coverage of insulation on the flooring, and then we're good to go. This foam does dry up really quickly, so right now my goal is just to make sure the entire floor is covered, and I'm gonna let it dry for 24 hours.
(7:59 a.m.)
So not exactly 24 hours later, but the morning we woke up, we double checked the van and these foam pieces were rock solid. I figured why not, and just started trimming away the pieces that I didn't need. And at this point we started putting the plywood in, lining them up with the wheel wells, the front, the back, and honestly, everything looks so good. And if you look close enough, I'm labeling the floor with a little bit of orange masking tape. This is pretty much just a reminder to let me know where those frame pieces are underneath the plywood. And even prior to screwing these plywood pieces down, I am putting more construction adhesive on the frame for the plywood to sit on. There really should be no reason why this floor moves at all. And with the last screw in place, this is the final product. So unbelievably proud of this. I can honestly tell you I had no idea it would take this long to finish. We underestimated it for sure. But looking at it now completed, I couldn't be happier with the results. The floors are officially done, guys.
Woo! This feels really nice, really firm, very sturdy. This is the foundation to our lives.
So we know that this process took about a couple videos, but we're still trying to figure it out, and we don't really know if you guys like longer form videos or shorter form videos.
So, what we would want to know is, do you want, the 15-minute plus videos, or do you prefer the short 3 to 5 minute long videos with like multiple parts, you know? Comment below if you prefer short form or long form.
This is still very much new to us, so if anyone watching has any thoughts or opinions.
If anybody has any advice or constructive criticism, we're not gonna like take it personally, is what
Right,
we're trying
that's
to say.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we want to hear from you guys. It would be cool to see what you have to say about it. Our next step is either going to be the roof rack or the swivel seats, whichever we decide, so that's gonna be fun. Oh, we need to put back in the template to kind of like cover the floor while we're working on it so we don't screw it up.
Yeah, because we're still going to be putting in windows, and we're still going to be drilling in holes on the roof for the air conditioner and the fan.
Okay, let's get it. Thank you. See you next time.
Bye.
Okay. Oh, it's like a taco.